Shots fired. We have officer hit. Shots fired. Officer hit.
2 officers down.
There'll be a fight in the area.
32, you got me? Oh, I'm hit too.
We started this gig back in December of 2016, and we put it all together in about 2 weeks.
It's our 4th drive, and we're driving across the country again. We're going to go meet with the Attorney General when we get to Washington, D.C., and present them with all the patches from the officers that have been murdered. 23 years ago, I was shot 8 times in the line of duty. I was lucky and I survived, but I ended up realizing from that I needed to go out and do something and give back.
What we started doing back then was raising funds to provide immediate financial assistance to the survivors of all police officers killed in the line of duty nationwide.
Oh my God.
Trooper Tyler Edenhofer, 24 years old, killed in the line of duty.
27-year-old Rogelio Santander, a 3-year veteran of the Dallas Police Department, was shot Tuesday
Officer
afternoon.
James White and Corporal Zach Moak died after being shot responding to a shots fired call.
They're both heroes. They did their job.
Natalie Corona died on the night of January 10th while working an accident scene.
A DeKalb County police officer has been killed.
At around 3 yesterday afternoon, on duty and in uniform, Sergeant Noel Ramirez and Deputy Taylor Lindsay were met with a burst of bullets as a gunman walked into the restaurant and opened fire.
Officials identified the fallen state trooper as Lucas Dawa.
Turner died from injuries received after being shot in the Florence County ambush on police back on October 3rd.
The State Department of Public Safety says Trooper Kevin Connor was an 11-year veteran of the Highway Patrol.
We learned the trooper's funeral is the day before what would have been his 39th birthday.
We decided that there's got to be some way for us to leave a legacy with all the people that we meet across the United States. This man right here, he started making these handmade plaques representing our organization that we present to the agency and also to the family.
To me, the most important thing I'd like people to take away from all of this is we're human beings just like everyone else. We bleed the same, we love the same, we have all the same issues that everyone else has. Putting on that uniform doesn't make us this larger than life entity that needs to be vilified and hated because we're trying to protect the other members of society that don't have someone to stand up for them.
So last night and this morning I was thinking about what I was going to say this morning to Mrs. Casillas. Gregory was the first trainee that I lost.
I think I expected to be emotional, but I just didn't know that I was going to break down once I saw Officer Gregory Casillas' mom receive the plaque. Words couldn't describe the emotions that were going through me.
He was a person to count on. He was a person that went out of his way to help people.
It's been tough for the department. It's made us stronger, but he was a great officer, and we'll never forget him.
All right. So I'm going to sign off here, and we'll get somebody back on to do live video for you guys. My arm hurts already.
It's still a mighty fine, noble profession. I don't care what anybody else says. I just wanted to call you, let you know we took off from Redondo, so everything's on schedule right now.
It's no big secret right now that law enforcement doesn't have the greatest reputation amongst the public. So the great equalizer for us is to be on social media and be a presence, because people don't know that behind this uniform and behind this badge is actually a human being. So when we humanize ourselves via handheld devices and camera, it gives people a glimpse as to who we actually are. People don't know that we have families, that we're husbands, wives, that we're somebody's sons and daughters, that we are somebody's father and mother. And if we can let people in a more intimate fashion via media outlets that's always readily available to us, like a handheld device, we're going to start winning the battle. It's going to be an end game for the haters out there.
Check him out. Look at that.
The sheriff and our entire department couldn't be more proud than to be a part of the Cannonball Run.
If we look at what they're doing, the best thing we could possibly do for those that have given the ultimate sacrifice is to turn around and take care of their families. And the Cannonball Run does that directly.
Each and every voice here collectively becomes the giant voice which we will use in order to professionally push back against the opposition.
It was in response to all the murders, the rise in murders to police officers, and we were going to go to D.C. and deliver the patches that we had collected along the way.
What they go through every day is something that, people like us we couldn't even imagine what that's like.
People need to know that police officers have families too, and they are really the people that put their life on the line for all of our safeties. And we should treasure them as we treasure our own family, because they're out there to protect us.
We are headed to Phoenix now. Phoenix, Arizona.
The peaceful village, the lion sleeps tonight. In the village, the quiet village, the lion sleeps tonight.
Yeah, that didn't work. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Etch.
Etch who?
Bless you. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
I eat mop.
I eat my poo.
On our way to Phoenix to go to the Arizona Department of Public Safety to honor a fallen state trooper.
Every stop always brings out those emotions, gets the blood going a little bit.
Driver, this last leg, must have had some frijoles or something, because it's rancid. He's letting us know, he keeps reminding us what he ate. And this is going to remind him that it's not welcome.
So far, so good. Moving stuff around, moving the suitcase around. First stop, got gas. Heading to Phoenix.
Autobots, roll out.
We do this in the name of honoring our fallen officers, but at the same time to bring awareness to the murdered officers out there. It's the organization's mission to reduce that number to below 100.
We're here at Arizona DPS to honor Trooper Tyler Edenhofer. Just rolled in, our second stop.
How you doing? Nice to meet you.
I'm Jason. Nice to meet you. James.
We appreciate you gentlemen being here, and again, thank you for including us in your stop across the country. But with that, again, JB, I'm going to turn it over to you.
We decided we're going to do two things. We're going to provide immediate financial relief to the families of all fallen officers nationwide. The second part of our mission is to raise as much public awareness as possible to peace officers murdered in the line of duty.
In honor and dedication of the life and profession of Trooper Tyler James Edenhofer, Arizona Department of Public Safety. Godspeed. From the Cannonball Memorial Run. So this is for you, man.
To see all of you here and the time that you took and to recognize him and to do this for the family, it just means a lot to us. It speaks volumes about your organization, and we're just very thankful that you're taking time to do this, to acknowledge Debbie and obviously Tyler. He was an incredible trooper. We miss him every day, and that ultimate sacrifice that he made was for all of us.
We are at the Tucson Federal Court building to meet up with the United States Marshals Service.
It's important that the public knows that these officers put on a uniform every day. They go to work and they don't know if they're going to come home.
Chase was a beautiful human being, and it just feels like there's a dark cloud above us, but we must continue with the mission, and that's what Chase would have wanted.
We're kind of like the overseers of the flock, so to speak.
Every time we go to honor an officer and the families there, the widow, moms, in this particular case, his widow, Chase's widow was here, and it just tears me up. Sit there and think about my family and the fact that my brother and sister-in-law and niece showed up. I just thought back at any given time, I could have left my family behind. It's just tough.
I have no idea where we are.
We're
somewhere in New Mexico, right?
Deming, New Mexico.
Yeah.
but we done killed about 4 generations of bugs. So I apologize for the bug apocalypse, but it was for a good cause.
Kevin shared with us location we're going to be filling up. We call everybody in that area to see any local law enforcement that want to come out and support the Cannonball Memorial Run, and this is what we got. We got right about 1 o'clock in the morning. We got a tremendous amount of support from Deming, sheriffs, local police, and just showing their love and support for this great cause.
We looked you guys up on YouTube, and I think it's awesome what you guys do. I really do. I hope that you guys never have to come out here and help us out, but if something like that ever does happen here, then I'm honored to know that you guys are out there and that you guys do this.
We're in Deming, New Mexico, and we got Chris right here. And guess what today is? It's Chris's, how old are you?
18th birthday.
Why are we doing the ET thing?
There you go.
Happy birthday, man.
Thank you. All right.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
That's awesome. Thank you.
We're heading to Fort Worth, Texas. That's our next stop. I think we've got about another 9 hours to go. We're going to drive through the night because we don't have any hotel stops planned.
I think we're somewhere outside of Abilene, Texas, heading towards Fort Worth. And hopefully we can get there a little bit early to take some showers.
Grant and I kept each other company. We didn't care about keeping you guys up because we sang all night.
Promise me that all you say is true.
I want it that way. Tell me why I'm just a poor boy.
Leave all thoughts of the world you knew before.
Here, baby, there, mama, everywhere, daddy, daddy, hey.
We are meeting at a gas station with Midland, Texas. And when we see all of these agencies and officers come out and meet with us like this, especially like during the night, first thing in the morning, that's pretty powerful because that means that our message is getting out and we just continue to grow and our support continues to grow. So we really appreciate this when the officers come out.
Law enforcement is just one big happy family, and that's what's happening right now. But look at this. We just met 10 minutes ago and we're sharing stories. It's no other profession like it.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Y'all have a good one now.
Yeah, nice
All right.
meeting you.
Yes, be safe.
Yep.
Take care.
We'll see you guys at 1300 hours Texas time for what we've been told a very large escort into Fort Worth. See you guys in a few hours.
We're getting ready to go to the headquarters of Fort Worth Police Department to honor Corporal Hull, who was murdered earlier this year.
Part of the reasons that I'm doing this is because 23 years ago I was shot in the line of duty. I was shot 8 times and I survived. But all those years going by wondering, why did I survive and so many officers out there don't? And what can I do with that story and how can we make an impact out there?
It is how he lived and worked that makes him a hero. Godspeed.
On behalf of the Cannonball Memorial Run, we would also like to present a plaque to the agency to be able to hang in the honor of Garrett. Be very proud of you.
They're representing all of our voices. They're saying, hey, we have to stand together and we have to fight against this, and we need to let the public know, don't forget these officers, don't forget these heroes. And I don't know how else to thank them, but I am truly, truly gracious.
If I was to tell you anything about Garrett Hull, it would be a warrior. Any shirts we had printed up to give out to the public, any coins that we had put it up, it's stamped warrior, because that's exactly what he was.
Our first drive was done in December of 2016, and that was the year that you folks lost 5, plus the 1 transit officer that year.
In honor and dedication of life and profession of Police Officer Rogelio Santander Jr., Dallas Police Department, Texas, EOW, Wednesday, April 25th, 2018. It is how he lived and how he worked that makes him a hero. Godspeed. Cannonball Memorial Run, 2019.
One of the hardest things for any police officer is to lose a family member. And if you know anything about law enforcement, we consider ourselves to be one big family. Rogelio will be loved forever. He is our hero, he's our brother, and he's our friend. So we really appreciate this day to just take a moment to let the family know that we love them and we continue to support them.
The reason we're doing this is to honor the families and the fallen officers, as well as raise money for them. All too often it takes a long time for families to get any type of help or support when their family member is lost in a line of duty death, and they shouldn't have to be trying to worry about money at that time. They should be able to mourn and do what they need to do.
Obviously, I never got to meet Corporal, but I'm sure he was a wonderful person, an awesome person. And this is how we got to keep remembering these heroes, because he is a hero.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank y'all so much for what y'all do, because it's truly a blessing from God to do what y'all do. And only thing that keeps communities together is the love that we have for one another. Because in heaven, it's not about the color of religion. It's all about we're God's children. And we're going to continue to fight against impossible odds, but we will never give up. We're not going to stop. That's what we do.
I got a call to come to the police department, and when I came to the police department, Chief was here. And when I come into the room, he stood up and he said, "Your son's a hero." He's a hero. Said he was not a coward. Said he ran to the fire. He ran to the fire.
The reason I joined the drive when Jason sat down and asked if I was in, my uncle, Sergeant Gary Wolfley, was shot and killed in March of 1986, and he was the reason I became a police officer. I understand your pain of losing someone, especially a hero.
He loved what he did. He was proud, and I was too.
We're here in Houston County, Alabama, meeting with Officer James White's mom, who wasn't able to make the drive all the way out to Brookhaven, Mississippi last night. So we came to her.
And that's from all of us at the Cannonball Memorial Run.
I just want to say God bless y'all for what you do. Not just the Cannonball Run, for what all of you do. We appreciate y'all.
It seems like the number of incidents involving multiple officers being murdered in a single incident is on the rise. You know, and that's something that needs to be handled immediately.
And God, I just ask today that you would especially protect these men who stand around us this day. Lord, and all those that they represent in law enforcement across this great nation. God bless these men and protect them in all that they do. We'll praise you for it, and we thank you for your mercy in everything that we do. And it's in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen.
Amen. We're supposed to oppose evil at every turn. And brothers, y'all are doing that. And not only are you opposing evil, now you're going out and we're taking the fight to them, because we are the good guys. We need to be proud of that. And if we're not proud of that, if we're not having people just like you willing to travel thousands of miles to honor people that you didn't even know, if it wasn't for people like you, then it is a lost cause.
Patch for each officer we're going to present to Attorney General William Barr in his office on Monday morning. Those patches will go into a handmade wooden box in that office, because that's what we do every year after each year's drive, is we get the patches to the Attorney General.
We're on our way to DeKalb County Police Department to honor 3 officers that were murdered in the line of duty from 3 separate agencies. And we have a special guest coming from last year, the widow of Locust Grove police officer Chase Maddox, who was murdered last year on February 9th, 2018. And she's going to be there. We're excited to see her and their baby boy that was born 4 days after he was murdered.
What really stood out to me about the Cannonball guys is since I met them last year, they constantly check in with me. They constantly check in on my kids. They always let me know that Chase isn't forgotten, and that in itself means the absolute world to me a year and a few months later.
we're going to try to shave off Sergeant Jason Hendricks, who's one of the co-founders of the organization's mustache off. He's had the mustache for about 25 years. It's going to get interesting, but he gave us a dollar amount, and that dollar amount's $1,000. So if we can raise $1,000 in our donation button on social media, we're going to do that. But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how we go. We got to do things like this to break up some of the emotional ups and downs that we have, and yeah, so we can have fun while we're out here, and this is part of the fun.
I think it's bull. Why is everybody choosing my mustache? There are so many other things that can be done. We can wax baby's back.
I don't know how to operate the new vehicles. We're trying to get it to operate the self-driving, the automated driving that everybody's talking about.
Did you just purchase this vehicle, sir, or this is a rental vehicle?
This is a rental.
Nice.
You just say wee.
While we were in Georgia, we all showered.
I don't know how many days I counted, but I need an extra pair of underwear.
Yeah, by the way, who did go on the Google and look? Did it just happen right now?
You can't smell that?
Are you kidding me?
Okay, I'm gonna talk to my friend Lee Iacocca over at General Motors, and we're gonna make sure that you get an extension so I can get a hold of you.
There's not enough of you guys here to take this mustache off.
I enjoy long walks on the beach, and yeah. No, I don't.
Your OnStar call has ended. Goodbye.
Listen to me. Right now, there are people trying to get my koozies. We need to make it out of this building right now.
That is straight old school right there.
Boring. Oh, hi. Hey, what about an eyebrow instead?
No.
Hi.
We're not doing eyebrows.
Yeah, $1,000, it gets done.
No, not my eyebrows.
So Dr. Mitch stepped up and says, you know what? I love Jason, and I don't think he should have to shave his epic mustache because it means that much to him. So I'm just going to give you $1,000 right now to let Jason keep that mustache.
The lead Suburban is running on fumes, and we're hoping we're gonna make it.
But why are they coming in Power Ranger colors?
I think they're awesome.
And that's why I have my road trip, Mom. Grant. There.
It's hard.
Yeah, I'm gonna get this boogie.
What are you talking about?
It's just another one of me.
All right, on to the next dinner.
Didn't have to pay for the bags either.
This is fair, and that's probably how I remember fair. Probably more than anything. That great smile, incredible officer. For her, not only was she one of our deadbeats, but she was very close to my family.
It's an honor and dedication of the life and profession of Investigator Farrah Turner. Florence County Sheriff's Office, South Carolina. End of watch Monday, October 22nd, 2018.
Sergeant Terrence Caraway, Florence Police Department, South Carolina. End of watch Wednesday, October 3rd, 2018.
He was a great man, and appreciate you remembering him.
Thank you, brother. That is awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you guys for honoring Terrence. Officer, it's an honor and a privilege for us. Appreciate you very, very much. It's an honor to meet you guys. Thank you.
These are the best patches, that you can get.
It's little things like this that it tends to peel the scab off for us, and I'm sure you understand. But it's a good thing. Anything we can do to honor Kevin is a good thing.
It's in dedication of the life and profession of Trooper Kevin Keith Connor, North Carolina Highway Patrol. End of watch Wednesday, October 17th, 2018. It is how he lived and worked that makes him a hero.
This agency is pretty personal to us because, like I said, it's 3 out of the 4 times. 3 out of the 4 times. And we'll put a stop to that.
In honor and dedication of the life and profession of Trooper Lucas Bartlett Dow, it is how he lived and worked that makes him a hero. Godspeed.
We signed up for this job to be part of something bigger than ourselves.
always striving to be the best that we possibly can for humanity. Doing this has definitely put things in perspective, more so on how important it is to make sure that our troops go home at the end of the day. All of us can do something, some part, and a lot of that's just raising the awareness that our number one goal is to go home at the end of the day. Bam!
We were all tired getting over here, and the minute we step out of the car, it's an instant rejuvenation because that adrenaline kicks in and fun stuff.
Pretty amazing.
It hits me the same every time. It's an emotional place. It's an amazing place. I just gotta walk for a minute.
Are you in?
Always.
Right now we're going to go visit Jeremiah MacKay's inscription onto the wall. Jeremiah is a detective from San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department who was murdered.
This is one of our fallen officers, one of the old school guys from our agency. He was responding to a neighboring agency's call for help on a robbery and was shot in the neck and succumbed to his injuries.
Each one of those is a life, and each one of those represents somebody that lost their life doing the profession that I do and that I love. So yeah, it's pretty heavy.
I'm doing it for JD. JD and I worked together for several years at Mid-City in patrol, several years on the gang team together. July of 2016, he was shot and killed. His partner, Wade Irwin, was also a hero that night. He was shot in the neck. JD's always near and dear to me.
This year was a big, huge success. And the rewards, the fruits of those labors haven't even come to fruition yet. They haven't even come to fruition yet. Social media numbers, through the roof. Other stuff, through the roof. Attendance at all the stops, through the roof. So we more than achieved our goals once again. We are now at the final steps of the trip, which is where we come to the office of the Attorney General here in the United States in Washington, D.C. To present him the patches that we collected from our journey across the United States.
To me, it's just bringing it all home and being able to sit down and talk to the Attorney General and explain to him what we have done and what it means to the families of the fallen officers that we have talked to, and just keeping our word to them that we're going to pass on to the Attorney General what it means for their family members to have been lost fighting a noble cause.
Well, first and foremost, it's an honor just to have gone and recognized the families of the fallen and help them out.
We're going to hand these patches to Attorney General William Barr here shortly. Well, it went very well. We presented the patches to the Attorney General. Very nice ceremony inside there. Unfortunately, there's no filming. We can't film in there.
We came here and did what we said we were going to do. The patches that we collected from the agencies along the way that had officers murdered, We told all of those families and agencies that we were going to hand deliver those patches to the Office of the Attorney General, and that's what we just did.
Still Chris to Papa 268 and Papa 293. Still Chris to Papa 268 and Papa 293. This is the final call for batch number 268, Sergeant Noel Ramirez, and batch number 293, Deputy Taylor Lindsay. Sergeant Ramirez and Deputy Lindsay were ambushed and fatally shot while on duty on Thursday, April 19, 2018. Both Sergeant Ramirez and Deputy Lindsay made the ultimate sacrifice as they were serving and protecting the citizens of Gilchrist County with honor and valor. Sheriff Schultz, along with the men and women of the Gilchrist County Sheriff's Office, are forever grateful and proud to have served with both Sergeant Ramirez and Deputy Lindsay. We will never forget their ultimate sacrifice.
Sergeant Terrence Caraway.
Sergeant Ramirez, may you rest in peace, knowing your strength and courage.
Appomattox to Unit 872. We're receiving no response. Corporation 2, Batch 272. Please advise. 19 and 14.
Your honor will continue on with us. Your legacy will be carried on in your children, and your honor will continue on with us. Papa 268, you are cleared for your end of watch. Thank you for your service. Rest easy. We have your watch from here.